Okay. So today we are working on our sides. I'm gonna keep my socks on actually. And so first, let's sit down on our heels. And maybe if you wanna tuck your toes so that you get a nice stretch in the bottom of your feet as well. And we're gonna start just with a little bit of movement. Reach your arms up and then grab hold of your left wrist and bend to the right. And then inhale, come back through center and switch to the left. And then we'll do that one more time, each side, to the right, center, and left, and center. Good, and then you can shake out your arms. And then let's come into a tabletop. I'm just gonna move this stuff off to the side for right now. Oh, I asked for him to come onto my mat and here he is. Now he's gone. Okay, so in your tabletop, let's find a couple cat-cows. Heart forward, gaze up. And then chin to chest and around the back. Twice more in. And then out. Last one here is you inhale, looking up, dropping the belly, and then exhale, chin to chest and around. And coming back to a flat back. So take your left hand in front of your right hand. And then you can crawl your left hand away from the center line of your body as much as you can, taking a nice big stretch here. Feel that stretch on your side body. And then come on back, placing your left hand back to where it came from. Right hand in front of your left hand, crawl it up to the top corner of your mat, or maybe even further. And then come on back to center. And then one cat-cow just to bring it all in. Flat back, tuck your toes, downward facing dog just for a transition. And from here, we'll immediately go into a pigeon pose with your right leg forward. So right knee to right wrist, right ankle to left wrist, and then come on down, making your way down. Always an option to take this pigeon on your back if your knee or your hip doesn't like it, and into a figure four stretch. Otherwise, belly down. And if you are able to do belly down, what we'll do is we'll walk our hands over to the right and our elbows come into this, kind of what we were doing in tabletop, but our legs are just a little bit different. And just stretching and relaxing, kind of falling into that left side body stretch. And if your body tends to fall to the left with this, you can always use that towel roll or maybe a block to bolster your left side body up. Not exactly up, but just to keep it from falling. Just holding it up, propping your body up. And as we always do, settling into the shape, our first longer shape. And that has a bit of stillness. And feeling where your body is at, where your nervous system is at. Just to know allowing for the body to transition from before class to class, before this moment to this moment. So, whatever it needs to do, if it needs to have, lots of thoughts, if the nervous system's feeling a little electric, just letting it settle on its own at its own pace. And then walking your hands back to center, moving any props out of the way that you might have used. And then we'll take it back to a down dog just to switch sides. Ooh, dropped a headphone there. All right, left leg comes forward for your down dog. For your pigeon, excuse me. And then making your way down. Just feeling your regular pigeon before we move into the variation. And whenever you feel ready, walking your hands now to the left. And with that left hip, it's really lifting and pushing your body off to the right, propping your right side body with a block can be helpful. You can also take a block underneath your right hip. Making all the adjustments that you need to so that you feel supported. And once you're there, allowing your body to settle, and again, at its own pace. Not trying to make anything happen. When we try to make relaxation happen, it's most likely not going to happen. It's more about relaxing into what is here right now. Where is your body right now? That's what we relax into. That's what we rest in. Resting in your experience. And noticing as we've been here for some time how the body is settling. If there's been any changes. Walking your hands back to center. And just for the transition, for just a realignment, stepping back to your down dog one more time. Maybe walking your dog for a moment. And then coming down to your knees. And we'll set the towel, the rolled up towel, on about a third of the way down from the top of your mat, and then turning over and laying down on top of it. Now, have your blocks nearby as you come to lay down on it. And when you lay down on it, have it settle into where you're just below where your bra strap would be. Just below, right on the edge. And then coming all the way back. It's really kind of targeted at the bottom of the ribs. Your arms can be teed, your legs, your knees could be pointed to the sky if your low back needs that. Your arms can also be in a cactus for a little bit more of an opening in your chest. You might even, with your fingertips, grab hold of the back of your head very lightly and gently pull the back of your head away from your bum so that you lengthen the back of your neck. And then notice your breathing here. Is it shortened in any way? Allow it to be long, not efforted, but full breaths. We tend to get stuck in our rib cage in our breath. And so when we have this pressure in our mid spine, it might encourage us to shorten a little bit more, or perhaps be a nice reminder to lengthen our breath a little bit more and to expand the intercostals. And with the exhale, allowing the ribs and intercostals to relax and melt over the towel. And if the mind has gone somewhere else, bringing it back to your breath. And then from here, to your arms and roll to either side that you have more space on. And press your way up onto your seat. And we'll just move the towel off to the side and come and lie down flat on your back. Feel what flat feels like. Just for a few moments. Notice any differences. I'm noticing there's more length in the sacrum, the bottom of my spine. And then we'll make our way up again by turning over, pressing your way up. And then with these blocks, you're going to take one block. I like it on the medium height, but you'll play with it and see what is good for you. Oh, sorry if that was loud. And I'm going to lie down on my side on the block. This block is going to land right at my bra strap again, where the towel was, but on the side, right? So it's as if we turned over to the right, like we did, and felt where the towel was. That's where the block is going to be. And then you're going to take the other block with your left hand and then start to lie down on your side on your right side on this block, right? So you want it to be on your ribs. And then if it's really digging in and it's hurting, you can always take this towel. We're done with the towel. So you can unroll it, maybe like, depending on the thickness of your towel. I would just like fold it once here and then place it on top, and it's like a little cushion. And then lying down flat. So it's like at the bottom of my lat, basically on the side of my breast, if that makes sense. And notice if you're like leaning forward or leaning too far back. Whoa, come off of the block. So you want to be directly on your side, right? Where your shoulders are stacked. And then with this left block, you're going to reach overhead and just reach your arms so that you find length. You can keep your legs as so bent, or what I like to do, so it kind of creates a little more length, is kick the right leg, bottom leg, out right in front of you, and the left leg goes long just back here. Now, if this is really uncomfortable for your neck, for your head to kind of hang this way, you can always just take this upper block and place it underneath your head to land on. And then just maybe, have your left arm hang overhead. I personally like to have it holding the block. Only if that works for you. So yeah, the block underneath your ribs can be at any height that feels comfortable. So this is like a side banana. Just as time goes on here, notice if you start to fall forward, chest caving in forward, and just roll it back and open it back up. And that pressure underneath here with the block making contact to your right side body can be a nice little additional trigger point therapy, getting into your lats. So it's like we're doing a little foam rolling at the same time. And if that top block is at its highest level, like mine, you might play with, since we've been here for some time, lowering it down a level and seeing what that's like. Just adding a little bit more length on the left side body, which is mostly what we're going for here. And that second benefit is the trigger point therapy into the right lat. Well, you could take that block in your left hand, place it right in front of your face, and then help yourself up with it. You could simply turn over, just flipping onto the other side. I'm gonna flip onto the other side of my mat so that I don't have my back facing you. But yeah, we'll just switch sides. So now under your left, it's not even like left armpit, right? It's lower than that, like at the bra line or even just below it. I'm just playing with it, seeing where it's right for you. Left leg can be kicked out from underneath you, right leg long. And then it's that right arm that reaches over to find the block. And again, just noticing if you're falling either forward or backward. Try to get your shoulders to stack. And just making sure that that bottom block is not at your floating rib, so that's not too low where there's too much compression on the rib cage. And now that we've been here for some time, if you would like, lowering the block in your right hand. So there's more length on the right side body. Breathing into the pressure points where the block is pressing in. Making sure your breath isn't being held, it's nice and long. And then taking that right block in front of your face to help you press up onto your seat. And we will take these blocks and towel out of the way and come all the way onto our back. And letting your ankles spread to the corners of the mat. Reach your arms overhead. Take your left ankle to your right ankle, and then your head and your shoulders and hands to the right for a banana stretch. Traditional banana stretch. If this feels good, you might take your left ankle on top of your right. You can also pull your left wrist gently with your right hand. Now, if your left hip is lifting off the ground, you can undo the crossings. Better just to have both hips down on the ground. We're, again, going for that side body stretch. And if this is too much on your left shoulder, you can always drape your arm across your chest. Noticing what it's like to breathe in this shape now that we don't have anything pressing into our rib cage. And just feeling this side body stretch and this different orientation. And then you'll walk your head and your hands back to center, left ankle to the left side of your mat, right ankle follows it, and then your head and hands to the left side. Settling here for just a moment before you take your right ankle on top of your left, if that is okay. You might gently pull your right wrist with your left hand. And then, yeah, if it feels all right, take your right ankle on top of your left. And if your right glute is able to stay down on the ground, going back to your breath. And then reversing out of that to bring your head and hands back to center. Right leg back to where it came from, and then bend into your knees, bringing your knees into your chest, rocking side to side, giving your back a little massage. And then we'll turn over to either side and make our way up one last time. So sitting on your bum, facing the long side edge of your mat, and we'll take these two blocks. Well, first let's set up our legs. So legs, you're gonna find a stagger. So take your left ankle out to the left. Your right leg is in a number 7 right in front of you. And you'll take these two blocks just right outside of your right hip. So it can support you. Turn to the right and then crawl your body forward. And from here, try to reach your left hand a little bit further away so we get a little bit of a stretch in that left side body, but in the posterior sense. If you need something to put your head on, you can grab the towel and scrunch it up so it has some height. And seeing where your body is now. If it's still where it was at the beginning of class. Or if it's more relaxed, more at ease, more at rest. And checking in with your mind, seeing if your mind has been able to relax, to be at ease. And we'll walk it back, lifting our torso. And then simply switching sides. So grab the blocks, swing your legs to the other side, and bring your blocks in front of your left hip. Building a little log here. I found that I'm a little shorter, so I made one of the blocks horizontal, and then walk yourself out. And so just trying to square your shoulders down to the mat. So the spine is twisting a little bit. And if your body or your mind is not able to relax, not able to be at ease, perhaps becoming curious about what's stopping. Not that it's wrong, not that we have to fix it, but just being curious. What is blocking? And walking your hands in to lift your body up. And then just kind of sitting cross-legged and taking a moment to be with your experience, to be with your body, and really checking in to see how anything, if anything, has changed since the beginning of class. Checking in with the weight of your body, how grounded you may feel at the moment. Checking in with the textures of the nervous system. Checking in with the levels of breath, shallow, deep, in the middle. Checking in with your heart, at ease, open, or perhaps constricted. And checking in with the mind. As you open your awareness to your whole body, feeling your body as one whole. And taking this moment to lend yourself some appreciation and gratitude for taking the time. Thank you so much for joining me this evening.
Oh, thank you, Orlee.
Of course. I hope you got some whatever you were looking for. I know you were really